Please be seated. Good afternoon. On behalf of the College of Creative Arts, it is my pleasure and my honor to welcome you to our 2010 commencement. During the course of our ceremony, you will meet the members of our platform party. But at this time, I would like to introduce our Provost, Dr. Michelle Wheatley, to you. Provost Wheatley will confer the degrees on our graduates, and she is with us now in her very first College of Creative Arts graduation. Provost Wheatley, we welcome you, and we wish you many happy returns. And as is our tradition, we welcome back the only Dean Emeritus of our college, Phil Fieni. Phil, as always, it's great to have you with us. I would also like to acknowledge a remarkable group of artists, academicians, and educators who have guided our graduates and at times pushed them over the past 4, 5, 6 years. We are so very fortunate to have a faculty who are among the very best at what they do, who advance their art forms in national and international arenas, and whose dedication to teaching is exemplary. I would ask our faculty to stand and be recognized. In addition to this outstanding faculty, our college is most fortunate to have a staff of knowledgeable professionals who manage the operations of the College of Creative Arts and the Creative Arts Center. They do an exceptional job, and I would ask you to acknowledge their fine efforts of our staff at this time. And now to our graduates. First, on behalf of a grateful College of Creative Arts, let me thank you for the spectacular finish of this academic year that you brought to us. The triumphant inspiration of your performance of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony still resonates within us. In your production of The Grapes of Wrath, you took our psychological breath away, reminding us once again that the arts are a most profound form of human communication. And in the BFA and MFA exhibitions, you taught us that issues of contemporary life can be shared through new perspectives and insights. These concluding performances and exhibitions were among the most remarkable I have seen in my 32 years here at WVU. As you graduate this afternoon, embrace this moment of achievement. Let the reality of success capture you, and remember this feeling of personal accomplishment when your life will take that inevitable difficult turn. Have the courage to move forward. After all, if you have succeeded to this point, and each of you has, you can succeed again. And when you face that seemingly insurmountable test of endurance, remember, you survived living at the CAC over these past years, and that alone should prepare you to cope with almost anything. I'd like to share a few thoughts drawn from 3 recent experiences. Excuse me. A little dry up here. During spring break, I accompanied my wife, Cookie, as she led a group of students from WVU's Honors College on a cultural tour of Paris. I gave the museum lectures, and yes, I did help carry the luggage. One night, as the bus was returning to the hotel, the students spontaneously began to sing Country Roads. I was taken with the realization that this song has been sung by our students and alumni literally around the world, and how it is symbolic of the enduring bonds of friendship which you have formed one with another. Cherish these friendships, and never be afraid to call upon them when the need is there. Later that week in Paris, we visited the home and studio of the leading 19th century French Romantic artist, Eugene Delacroix. As I looked over the visitor book before we left, I was struck by the writing of a young child, perhaps 7 or 8 years old, who wrote in big block letters. And this is what that person wrote. The person wrote, "Dear Mr. Delacroix, I really like your pictures. Thank you for making them." Wow, I thought. What beauty and understanding there is in these words. Somehow, just maybe this young person sensed what each of you knows to be true. That the power of communication, which the arts bring to us, transcends time and perceived boundaries. In a world more and more given to confrontation before dialogue, partisanship before global perspective, and where communication is reduced to linear patterns of letters, you have the power to remind all of us that creativity can open new forms of expression, reminding us as a society of our achievements as well as our shortcomings, and allowing us always to revel in the intensity of what it means to be human. My third episode happened at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning at an airport in Florida. Now, I have to kind of know this, but when I travel, I just always wear a WVU cap. I have a great selection of them. Cookie thinks maybe a few too many, but I have this great selection of WVU caps, and I always wear them when I travel. So I sat there with my family, and a woman was walking through the airport, looked at me, and said in a raised voice at 7 o'clock in the morning, "Go Mountaineers." Because of your accomplishments, this fine faculty in our esteemed university, you will be recognized in the world. And as this happens, the connection that you feel with your home among the hills will grow ever stronger. Think of this Creative Arts Center as a professional home, and know that your return always will be welcomed here. An Austrian poet at the turn of the 20th century wrote, and I quote, "The future enters into us in order to transform itself in us long before it happens," unquote. The future already is with each of you this afternoon, beginning to transform not only your lives, but with the promise that you bring, ours as well. Thank you, and God bless you. Since 2001, this college has advanced in many ways because of the valued guidance of William Jamie Windsor, who serves as the Associate Dean for just about everything in our college. Jamie is an accomplished administrator who brings to his job the highest level of ethical standards. Please welcome Associate Dean Windsor.
Good evening, everyone. It's my job to list the outstanding graduates for each division this evening. So although we honestly believe that all of our graduates are truly outstanding and that we're extremely proud of all of you, it's still a tradition that we recognize one senior from each division. These seniors basically are selected by the faculty in that division based on the students' demonstration of talent, commitment to their selected form of art, record of performance and exhibition, service, and their passion for their vocation. And it's my pleasure this evening to announce these distinguished graduates. I ask that the following three students please come forward and join the Dean and the Provost at the center of the table up here and remain on stage until the completion of the awards. Joseph Prado, Rebecca Buxton, and Brian Edelman. The outstanding senior from the Division of Art and Design is Joseph Prado. Joey was born and raised in Fairmont, West Virginia. As an artist, he's interested in the process of making art and how the process of itself actually contributes to the meaning of the image. He's also interested in the viewer's reception, recognition, and possible dialogue of his work. His most recent works in print and stone, have been in stone lithography and woodcut relief, where he has exhibited a series of minimal geometric and pattern-based imageries. After graduation, Joey will be moving to Colorado to work as an independent artist and continue to develop new works in preparation of entering graduate school. Joe Lupo, one of Joey's instructors, added that Joey was a model student in every class. The seriousness and the curiosity that Joey brought to his artwork were rare and have resulted in a highly advanced and sophisticated portfolio. Tonight, Mr. Prado graduates with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Please join me in congratulating Joey for his outstanding work in the Division of Art and Design. The outstanding senior from the Division of Music is Rebecca Buxton. Rebecca has earned the distinction through her stellar academic performance. Her GPA is 3.8. Her talent as a musician, her most recent jury was scored at a level 9.5, and her commitment to civic, social, and artistic engagement. During her course of study, she has worked as an intern with the West Virginia University Pittsburgh Symphony Partnership Advisory Board, served as the secretary for the student chapter of American String Teachers Association, and president of the LDS Church Education System Institute Council. She further demonstrated her commitment to music as a driving force for unity and peace when she spent a summer in Kosovo teaching music to young children. Rebecca recently auditioned and was accepted into the Temple Square Orchestra, which is the volunteer orchestra that accompanies the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and she is interviewed for the position of assistant personnel manager for the Utah Symphony. Did you get the job? You did? Not yet. Okay. Just checking my facts here. Tonight, Ms. Buxton graduates with her BA in music and with a minor in arts administration. Please join me in congratulating Rebecca for her outstanding work. And the outstanding senior for the Division of Theater and Dance is Brian Edelman. During his course of study, Brian is focused on honing his talent in acting. While at WVU, he has proven to be among the division's most dependable and gifted students, having demonstrated great artistic merit combined with personal integrity. He was most recently seen as the car salesman in the Division of Theater and Dance, lost my place, and narrator, The Grapes of Wrath. And he has also performed leading roles in Mary Rose, The Caucasian Chalk Circle, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Hamlet, Urinetown the Musical, and The Love of the Nightingale. Directors love him for his dedication, commitment, professionalism, and the fact that he's just a darn nice guy. This past week, he performed in the BFA Actors Showcase in New York City, which he helped to organize, and this summer he will be working at the Hangar Theater in Ithaca, New York. After the summer, he plans on moving to New York City to pursue a career as a performer. Tonight, Mr. Edelman graduates with his Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Please join me in congratulating Brian for his outstanding work. Good lead. There's more. And from these three outstanding students, the college selects one individual to be recognized as our outstanding senior for the College of Creative Arts. This year's recipient of this distinguished award goes to Rebecca Buxton. Thank you.
It is truly a joy for me to introduce our graduation speaker to you. Susan Hardesty, our former First Lady of WVU, is nationally recognized for her volunteer leadership in higher education. When David Hardesty became our president in 1995, Susan founded the WVU Parents Club, an innovative organization of parent and student advocacy, which has proven to be so effective that it has received national attention and acclaim. The WVU Parents Club has grown to such an extent and has become so multifaceted that I would say it has touched in one way or another virtually everyone here this evening. Throughout her career, Susan Hardesty has been so very supportive of our college. She is a charter member and former chairperson of the College of Creative Arts Board of Visitors. She helped to organize the Pride of West Virginia marching band concerts in Charleston, our state capital. And currently, Susan serves on the WVU Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra Partnership Board. But there is so much more. Susan Hardesty has been active in Read Aloud West Virginia, and she co-authored with President David Hardesty this very fine book, Leading the Public University, Essays, Speeches, and Commentaries. She has served on the board of directors of the United Way, the Metropolitan Theater Foundation, and the West Virginia Education Alliance. For this most distinguished career of service, Susan Hardesty was inducted in 2007 into the Order of Vandalia, which is the highest recognition for service, which is awarded by our university. And with great pride, we say, Susan Hardesty is one of us. She graduated summa cum laude from WVU with a degree in music education. Oh, come on, folks. And then earned her master's degree in special education. Her father, Professor Clifford Brown, was a professor of music and associate dean of our college, who was instrumental in the design and the construction of our Creative Arts Center. Susan Hardesty has had a remarkable career, from teaching music in Massachusetts to a nationally recognized First Lady of our university, and always, always a steadfast advocate for the arts. Please welcome Susan Hardesty.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. When Dean Schultz asked me to speak, I said yes for several reasons. First, I wanted to acknowledge the outstanding leadership that Bernie has given to the College of Creative Arts during the past decade. Bernie and his wife, Cookie, helped establish the Riffle program, which David started in 1995. And through the many years, they have continued to demonstrate the importance of being a student-centered institution. I also said yes because your class is one of the last classes to have entered WVU when David was president. We still think of you as our kids. And before I go on, I would like to introduce David. For 12 years, he recognized me every single speech that he gave. So for once, I am pleased to be able to ask him to stand up so we can thank him for his many years of service to WVU. Stand up, David, and let's thank you. I also said yes to Bernie because I have met many of the parents here today through their involvement with the Mountaineer Parents Club. And I wanted to be here to personally congratulate your parents, your step-parents, grandparents, spouses, and other family members for their role in your graduation. This is a special moment, a milestone, not just for the graduate, but also for their families. So graduates, why don't you stand up and face your families and give them a big round of applause. It's nice to know where they are, isn't it? Finally, I am here today because this college and my degree from it have meant so much to me. My father devoted his life to the division of music and was instrumental in the concept of creating a college of creative arts that would combine music, art, and theater. I grew up seeing the blueprints of this building spread out all over our dining room table. I want to emphasize that my education from this college prepared me for every work experience that I faced. My first teaching position was in Oxford, England, in a small Catholic girls' school. It was a boarding school, and I was asked to teach every instrument, accompany the daily mass services, and teach music to girls from 8 to 18 without the use of any music books, Orff instruments, auto harps, rhythm instruments, you name it, we didn't have it. My education from here gave me the skills that I needed to adapt to a classroom without materials. From there, I went to the best elementary teen teaching school in America, in Lexington, Massachusetts. Again, I was able to adjust to having everything I needed. I taught electronic music classes, guitar classes, recorder classes, and team taught for units in social studies, science, math, and English. I had been exposed to all of these disciplines at WVU. I later got a master's degree in special education. When some of my students were not able to learn to read by traditional methods, I was able to teach them how to read and learning basic skills through music. And I have to say that being a mountaineer all of my life was extremely valuable when I was WVU's First Lady. I knew this institution and this college well because I had stayed connected by being involved with the music alumni and the College of Creative Arts and the Board of Visitors. Now, I know I'm not Jerry West or Bill Clinton, so I don't expect you to remember that I was your graduation speaker. In fact, a few years ago, I was asked to speak at the Wheatley High School graduation ceremony, and our daughter had graduated from there several years earlier, so I asked her who her graduation speaker was, and she said, "Mom, it was Dad." So if I didn't remember that it was David, it's okay if you don't remember that I spoke. And I'm fully aware that graduation speakers are often reminded to do just three things: stand up, speak up, and sit down. Because of this, I humbly and briefly offer up a few remarks intended to prompt you to think about your future. When you came to freshman orientation at WVU, chances are you heard my husband David give you several tips for being successful in college, and maybe your parents will remember these. The first tip, very complicated: go to class. Focus on your academics. The second tip was lead a balanced life. Third was to engage in the life of the campus. And the fourth was to dream big. I believe that these same points can help you be successful in this next stage of your life. Let's take a look at that first one. Your principal job in college was to go to class, to focus on your education. So when you start that new job as a teacher or as a Disney intern or touring with the Hillbilly Gypsies or with the Hangar Theater in New York or playing with the symphony in Salt Lake City, do the same thing and go to class. Focus on your job. Be the first to arrive and the last to leave. Let me repeat that. Be the first to arrive and the last to leave. Volunteer to do more than you have to do, more than your share, and do it as well as you can. Remember that hard work will never go out of style. Many of you are going on to graduate school, and it doesn't matter if it's Ohio State, George Mason, Michigan State, Cranbrook, Wright State, Louisville, SMU, Carnegie Mellon, or others. Go to class. Get to know your professors and define your goals. Know what you expect to accomplish with your higher education. Focus on your jobs and your education and give it your all. Our second point was to lead a balanced life. This is not always easy. Because you are musicians, artists, actors, set designers, it will be easy to consume your life by doing what you love, which is wonderful. If you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. But one danger of being consumed by your profession is that you will pursue your career goals with such zeal that you will cheat yourself out of good health, your family out of the time that they deserve, and your community out of your voluntary contributions. Volunteering can actually help your career. I developed many skills outside of the workplace by being a volunteer. For example, when I started the Read Aloud program in Jackson County, West Virginia, I had to put together a board of directors. I had to speak throughout the county, convincing community leaders and parents of the importance of reading aloud to children. I had to work with principals and help develop schedules for teachers in the classroom. I had to assist in training the volunteers. When we came to WVU and decided that parents needed to have a more active role in their life with their students, my volunteer skills with Read Aloud transferred right over to my new role with the Mountaineer Parents Club. And of course, take time to focus on your family and friends and take care of yourselves physically. Find a way to spend at least 30 minutes a day in a fitness routine. Leading a balanced life is challenging, balancing work, family, community involvement, and your physical health. But when you get it right, you'll know it, and you'll feel better about yourself and your work. Our third point was to engage in the life of the campus. Yes, you're going to be leaving your home among the hills, but I encourage you to continue to engage West Virginia University and the College of Creative Arts. Networking is perhaps more important in the arts than in any other field. Look around you, graduates. Just look around you. Here are your friends who marched with you on Mountaineer Field, sang with you in the choir, acted with you in the Falbo Theater, designed sets with you, accompanied you, shared artwork with you in the Maceris Art Galleries, performed with you in the symphony orchestra or the jazz ensemble, danced with you in orchestras, or thrilled audiences with you at the World Music Concerts. Here are friends who have been your greatest supporters and your most vocal but helpful critics. There is a bit of sadness today in knowing that you will be saying goodbye to many of your CAC colleagues, but my charge to you is to stay in touch. Be there to support each other during successful moments as well as those challenging ones, and keep in touch with your professors. Nothing means more to a faculty member than that phone call from a student letting them know of a recent success. The West Virginia connection is golden. Your classmates and professors know you, they know your talents, and they may be your connecting link for that perfect job in West Virginia, New York City, LA, or maybe Italy. Continue to support WVU, even if just with a few dollars each year, and support the arts. If those of us who majored in music, art, or theater don't support the arts, who will? Our final point to freshmen was to dream big. Dream the impossible, and you just might achieve it. Have you seen Alice in Wonderland? Alice says to the Mad Hatter, "This is impossible." And the Mad Hatter replies, "Only if you believe it is." 10 years ago, James Valente sat where you are now sitting, graduating from the College of Creative Arts with a degree in voice. Last March, David and I went to New York City for his debut as Alfredo in La Traviata at the Metropolitan Opera. Now just think of that, a leading role at the age of 32. He received thunderous applause and resounding bravos throughout the theater. I still get chills when I think about it. Here was our WVU graduate, achieving the impossible dream. His mother shared with us afterwards that James had always dreamed of that night and had worked so hard the past 10 years to achieve it. Again, hard work has not gone out of style. Several days after his debut, the Richard Tucker Music Foundation announced that James Valente, age 32, was the winner of the 2010 Richard Tucker Award. The award recognizes an American singer poised on the edge of a major international opera career. This is an impossible dream that came true, and it can happen to you. Well, what are your dreams? Can you reach out there? I mean, way out there. Stretch your minds and see what you really want to do with your lives. Where do you want to be in 10 years, or 20 years, or 30 years from now? Sit down next week. Take some time and write down your goals. Let your minds explode with thoughts of your future. Dream big. You are a unique group of graduates, graduates of the arts. You have the ability to bring great pleasure to thousands of others through your music, your art, and your theatrical endeavors. So go from this place, this College of Creative Arts, nestled in the mountains of West Virginia. Set goals for yourself and work hard to achieve them. Take care of yourselves by living a balanced life. Keep in touch with your alma mater and your classmates, and dare to dream the impossible dream. You now have the skills to make those dreams come true. Congratulations, 2010 graduates of the College of Creative Arts. Thank you.
Please welcome our students, Maria Mahe and Gina Nestor, singing My Home Among the Hills, composed in 1963 in honor of West Virginia's centennial celebration.
There's a land of rolling mountains where the sky is blue above, and though I may roam, I hurry home to the friendly hills I love, where the moonlit meadows ring with the call of whippoorwills. Always you will find me in my home among the hills, and where the sun draws rainbows in the mist of waterfalls and mountain rills. My heart will be always in the West Virginia hills. Their autumn hillsides are bright with scarlet trees, and in the spring the robins sing, while apple blossoms whisper in the breeze. And there is music in the flashing streams, and joy in fields of daffodils. Laughter through the happy valleys of my home among the hills.
Okay. Maria, Gina, bravo. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Please welcome back Jamie Windsor, our Associate Dean.
This evening, it's my great honor to recognize the College of Creative Arts' first graduate from our new Multidisciplinary Studies program. The Multidisciplinary Studies degree, or MDS as we call it, was added to the college in 2007 to accommodate the growing number of students who desired an arts-based alternative course of study outside one of our conventional majors in art, music, or theater. During the past 3 years, the number of students admitted to the college's MDS program has grown from 1 to approximately 6. These students have proven to be both diverse in their talents and interests and have been drawn to the MDS program for its special emphasis in allowing to create an individualized curriculum. Most importantly, it also provides the students with a focused path for graduation. Technically, the MDS program is comprised of three related minors. Where a regular major in our college might limit a student to studying within one division within the college, the MDS program goes beyond that particular division by stressing the importance and breadth of knowledge and cross-disciplinary communications. Although the MDS course of study remains largely a self-chosen one, it nonetheless incorporates the same rigorous intellectual and artistic standards found in our traditional majors. Each MDS student must choose 3 minor areas and demonstrate how these areas will work together toward his or her educational career goals. In the case of our first graduate, Kelly Belichick, selected areas of arts administration, communication studies, and theater with the intention of pursuing a career in television and film production and management. Kelly will start using her degree early this summer when she begins a professional internship with Disney in Orlando, Florida. So it's my great pleasure to officially recognize Kelly Nicole Belichick and ask her to please come to the stage. Where are you? There you are. Tonight, Kelly earns her Bachelor of Arts degree in Multidisciplinary Studies from the College of Creative Arts and becomes a member of our College of Creative Arts alumni. And I was her advisor, so congratulations. Congratulations, Kelly. It is now my pleasure to introduce Professor Allison Helm, Chair of the Division of Art and Design, who will introduce and read the names of the 2010 Art and Design graduates. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, family, friends, distinguished administrators, and of course the graduating class of 2010. I am honored to be here to share in the joy of this turning point in your lives. This institution has provided each and every one of you in this graduating class with analytical skills and powers of observation to examine your values, choose a career path, and discover your role in the world today. We, the Art and Design faculty, are proud to have been your mentors for a short time in your life and to have given you the tools to flourish in your career. You are all impressive students. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here today, ready to move forward into exciting new directions. I am pleased with the intellect, energy, innovation, and talent that I see radiating from each and every one of you. You all share the motivation needed to drive yourselves to grow and reach your fullest potential. Within this nurturing environment, we have helped hone your raw skill and shaped your intellectual development while you undertook your own individual research and chose your courses. You have followed your passions for the art to create your own individual path. Many of you have immersed yourselves in our international programs in China and Italy to better understand these diverse artistic cultures. Your passions, dreams, and visions have developed into a rich body of work that is a reflection of our time and your influences. You have carefully been trained to be a director of your own artistic endeavors and define, discover, discern, and practice creativity. You're all fresh new leaders, so dominate your future and your career while maintaining that which inspires you. Your voice has an impact and a ripple effect in our society that is desperately needed. Look for challenges because opportunities are often found thereafter. No matter how great the challenge, you have been equipped with the tools needed to succeed in your life and to rise above those tests. I heard a talk this past fall by John Mayeda, president of the Rhode Island School of Design. I would like to borrow a few of his thoughts on critical thinking and critical making as being the most essential skills of the 21st century. As the nation focuses on STEM research, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math, we also include the arts to make the acronym STEAM. It will be creative thinking that will design solutions to global and economic disasters. For instance, applying your creative practice, who knows, maybe your next environmental sculpture will utilize volcanic ash and create tsunami barriers in visually exciting ways. Always look for the possibilities and always push the boundaries. Many of our alums are now leading successful careers, teaching at all levels of PK through 12, community colleges, and universities. Grads are working for art organizations and museums in Colorado and DC, or running art galleries in New York City, and many go on to prestigious graduate programs. Every day brings new opportunity, so be giving and invest yourself in each other's well-being, success, and security. Good character is not just rewarding to others, but to you as well. As you go on the next step in your life, I ask you to reflect on all the good times spent here at West Virginia University. You probably won't miss the PRT breaking down on your way to class or paying for your parking tickets, but you will miss the instructors and the friends that you've made along the way. Do not take these friends for granted. Most of us have succeeded because others gave us the first big break in our careers. We must understand that we have been given the great gift of an education and that we need to enrich the lives of those around us. As you go forward this day, bless others as you have been blessed, and don't forget you will always be a part of our family here. Congratulations, class of 2010. And now the Division of Art and Design, Bachelor of Arts in Art History. Madison Ann Cardenas, cum laude. Jane Ang Meng. The Bachelor of Fine Arts in Visual Arts, Jessica Dawn Bryan. Catherine Emily Byers, magna cum laude. Daniel Rob Carroll, magna cum laude. Andrea Ruth Deniston, summa cum laude. Laura Kathleen Everett, cum laude. Samira Gadimi, summa cum laude. Sarah Merrill Hess. Jonathan Randall Hudak, magna cum laude. Sabrina K. Jones, cum laude. Sarah Marie Jordan, magna cum laude. Matthew McLaren Linham. Erin Beth Murphy, cum laude. Cum laude. Sage Elise Parrott, cum laude. Oh, okay. You got backed up here. Okay, Christopher Dale Portran. Amy Jo Ramsey, cum laude. Elizabeth Paxton Ruett. Justine Allison Seamack, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Page Toller. Bianca Patricia Trevino, magna cum laude. Joseph Anthony Prado, summa cum laude. Carla Whitford, summa cum laude. The Bachelor of Fine Arts and Visual Arts with certification, Michelle Elaine Probst. The Master of Arts in Art, Catherine Elizabeth Inge. Master of Fine Arts in Visual Arts, Cassie Lee Clements. Jennifer Marie Rockage. And our student marshal, Catherine Jo Pino, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Fine Arts and Visual Arts with certification. And let me introduce you to Joshua Williamson, Chair of the Theater and Dance. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. If you're looking at your program, do not adjust your programs. We just like to keep it mixed up a little bit here. My name is Joshua Williamson, and I have the honor of serving as the chair of the Division of Theater and Dance. Earlier this week, I was handed a draft of today's order of events. I thumbed through it, not really studying it too carefully. After all, how much does this ceremony really change year to year? And my eyes froze on a particular passage. Williamson, brief remarks and then read names of graduates. As I finished my third year as chair of the Division of Theater and Dance, this didn't come as a surprise to me. It was the weight of the phrase, brief remarks. Hastily written, likely by a commencement organizer, these words annually loom over my head with immense pressure. Brief remarks. Busy dealing with other duties as chair this week, I continually delayed working on my brief remarks, much the way you do when you have a paper for Professor Helm due. And I read Facebook. Several colleagues suggested that I merely use last year's remarks. After all, who among you were here last year? But I can't do that. Like you, I'm an artist at heart, a lighting designer where beams of colored light are my paintbrushes, my instrument. As an artist, I have a need to create, a need to, as Professor Hitt so simply stated in a recent faculty meeting, to tell a story. That is, in essence, what we all do, what we are trained to do, and what drives each of us, to tell a story, be it with a trumpet, a pile of clay, or a script. As artists, we tell stories. But these brief remarks continue to haunt me. I couldn't just write a live your life live your dream, tackle life, grab the bull by the horns, get a job kind of speech. Unlike the previous 2 years, I realized that I know this class much better. I've worked more closely with this year's graduates, and I know each of you very well. Katie did say, yeah, come to the senior roast. For example, I know about Bethany's passion for dance and lighting design. I know about Viking and Brittany's stage combat exercise. I know about Vinny and his Gulliver Travels experience in a fitting. And what is meant by the phrase tip to tip. I know about Ben's aversion to actors. And I know all about Joey and his sneakers. I know about Jeff's recent trip to New York and a meeting with an agent. I know of Gina and Chrissy's passion for light, Chelsea's love of children's theater, and Kristen and Brian's desire to create. And I have watched you. I sat in the Davis Theater with Provost Wheatley, deeply moved by your performances in The Grapes of Wrath. I have watched Brian, Melissa, and Taylor perform Shakespeare and Restoration comedy in high school classrooms as they recruit next year's class. I have seen Jessica work with kids in the community arts program, and I have heard Nick's questionable stand-up comedy routine. So from Tracy's movie making to Tammy's performances, I have seen your work. I have celebrated with you, like Jana's internship at the O'Neill Theater. And I have joined in your pain, such as Matt's broken wrist, challenging his choice to be a puppeteer. So while making sweeping cliched statements would make these brief remarks easier, I couldn't do it. Because I know all of you so well. From Katie the organizer to Helene's love of New York City. And despite all that you have posted on Facebook, I remain immensely proud of all that you have accomplished and your capacity for the challenges that lay ahead. So I tackle these brief remarks with a greater sense of purpose because I know you. And therefore I know you need a challenge. I cannot offer advice like listen to your parents, don't go swimming 30 minutes after eating. This won't mean anything to you. No, you need a challenge. Later in this evening's ceremonies, you'll receive an alumni charge placing before you the challenge to take on the role as a supporter of WVU. However, as much as the division and college will need your support, and trust me, we'll be calling, I have a greater challenge for you and a more important charge, a duty and a responsibility you have as an artist. Your artist's charge is to embrace these roles in the arts in society. Your charge is to ensure that the arts thrive in a society that places fiscal success ahead of artistic integrity. Your charge is to teach others to be appreciative patrons of the arts. Your charge is to examine society and humankind. Your charge is to question the rules and establishment and to educate society through the arts. Your charge is to recruit the next generation of artists. Your charge for the rest of your career is to serve as a steward of the arts. Therefore, Dean Schultz, it is with immense pride that I present to you and Provost Wheatley the Division of Theater and Dance class of 2010, who not only completed the requirements for their degrees, but possess in them the drive and passion to engage in these challenges as stewards of the arts and storytellers. And trust me, I know these graduates. Congratulations. With a Bachelor of Arts in Theater, Kristen Marie Balzano, magna cum laude. Brian Michael Dunar. Catherine Mary Kennedy, cum laude. Tracy Nicole Turner, cum laude. Jana Christine Jarrett. Nicholas Andrew Urick. With a Bachelor in Fine Arts in Theater with an emphasis in acting, Melissa Jane Allen, magna cum laude. Congratulations. Brian Douglas Edelman, summa cum laude. Congratulations. Taylor Augusta Ferreira, magna cum laude. Congratulations. Jessica Sarah Goldstein. Tamara Sue Hoyer, summa cum laude. Jeffrey Michael Potts, magna cum laude. Brittany Jo Sowards, summa cum laude.
Don't you ever make me cry again.
Helene Ann Waldemarson. Congratulations. With a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater with an emphasis in Design and Technology, Jared Levi Bierce. Gina Lynn Brown, summa cum laude. Joseph Orlando Famigletti. Congratulations. Bethany Lynn Fisher, cum laude. Christina Marie Steelman. With a Bachelor in Fine Arts in Theater with an emphasis in puppetry and creative dramatics, Chelsea Ann Fansler. Matthew Robert Clifford Laird, cum laude. And the Order of Augusta Scholar, for which there were only 8 this year in the 2010 class for the entire university, which recognizes students' superior scholarship, demonstrated leadership, and record of community and public service, and the Division of Theater and Dance Student Marshal, Benjamin David Levesque, summa cum laude. Congratulations to the Division of Theater and Dance class of 2010. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Keith Jackson, Chair of the Division of Music.
Thanks, Josh. I'd like to welcome the family, friends, and guests of the class of 2010. I'd also like to tell the class of 2010, congratulations. You've gone through 4 years of change. Just like the people assembled on this platform today, you've had many events occur in your lives that you would never have anticipated. Now, this is a rough spot. I'm going off script for a second because everybody else has said what needs to be said. Well, but I'm going to give it a try anyhow. Because here in the College of Creative Arts, we're going to do that. We're going to fly by the seat of our pants every now and then. So even though events like this are formulaic, even though we're going to give you advice, we're going to tell you things you're going to forget, we still go on and make it up as we go. Now, the way these things work, sometimes a speaker comes up and delivers to you in a solemn tone a charge. Others are humorous. Others drone on. And one of these days, one of us is going to get a cadence and get this place rocking. That's not today. In reality, you're going to forget 95% of what happens here today. We've already heard that, and it's true. You're not going to remember. I do not remember my graduation speaker. You're going to remember this event. You're going to remember the blizzard of 2010. You're going to remember taco in a bag. Those are the things you're going to remember in 10, 15, 20 years. But still, it's our charge, my charge, to try to give a few bits of advice, some lessons in there. So I'm not going to break the mold. I'm going to give you some things to think about, some things to remember. And probably you'll forget them, but I'll try anyhow. The first thing I want to say is normally the last thing I say at these, because I said they're formulaic. You guys are getting a degree in the arts. Financial security is a long way away. So the last thing I say every year is, if there is free food, eat. Go ahead and stuff your face. If you've got pockets, fill them up when nobody's looking. If you've got a gig bag, fill it. And by the way, today, these little bad boys, you can hide a lot of flying WVU cookies in these things, okay? Now, the second thing, not quite as lighthearted, involves a story. And for those of you who've heard story time in the past, I will keep it short. And it's going to start in a frightening way, because I'm going to say I came to WVU in 1995, but I'm not going to give you a blow-by-blow since then. But I came here as a teacher of applied trombone from a school where very few of my students were music majors. And it was exciting. It was thrilling to be here, where people wanted to pursue this lifestyle. So I come to this building, and I deal with the trombone students, and they want to know excerpts. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, excerpts are where trombone players and low brass play really loud stuff and really have a good time doing it. We play things like Mars, the bringer of war. Well, for trombone players, that is nirvana. That's heaven. But in that first year, I was coaching a trombone quartet, and as I often did, I mentioned recordings. And I brought out a second movement of a Tchaikovsky string quartet, thinking, none of these guys are going to know this piece. It's not loud, it's not boisterous, it's not even for our instrument. Well, sure enough, one student knew it and had multiple recordings. This one member of the group, who was an okay player, but not setting the world on fire, recognized it, had recordings, and knew that Tchaikovsky had later arranged it to be a piece for string orchestra. That caught my attention. And over the next 2 semesters, I realized that student loved music for all the right reasons. It wasn't testosterone. It wasn't driving the viola players nuts by playing too loud. He actually loved music. I fast forward now, and this student graduates and gets a good job teaching strings in Northern Virginia. And from everything I hear, he's doing great. I'm real proud of him. Recently, I learned that this student had traveled with his partner to the Philippines and come back with a love for that country. He also came back saddened by the lack of musical opportunity for those students. And over the next several years, this alum made several trips back to the Philippines, taking instruments to donate to the students. You see, I'd been proud of how he'd become a successful teacher, but I had not kept up with his life. Now, the bad thing is, the reason I learned all of what he was doing was because this alum passed away in March. He died from injury sustained in a house fire. The reason I'm telling you this is not to make you tear up. It's to tell you what this alum, Dan Fussell, did. What he did in his short time on this planet was take his love of music and combine it with humanity to make a difference. That's the one thing I'm hoping, in addition to get the free food, you remember. You need to, you have to, you must use your talents to make a difference. When you get an opportunity, grand or small, to improve the quality of life and the world around you, you have to do that. That is so much more important than riches or fame. And you heard before, if you love what you do, you never go to work because you love what you do. Now, I'm not sure how everybody here can make a difference because the world is changing too quickly. 100 years ago, the idea of going to another country and taking instruments so they could enjoy music, but impossible for us to imagine. But now we can do that. The world is changing. We can make those differences. So, yes, in this day, which you're going to forget everything that goes on, I'm giving you a charge, and that is to use those talents and your love to make a difference. I lied. There's a third charge. Because you don't know when you're going to see each other again, I want to see hugs out in that reception. Because you don't know. A hug is different than Facebook. It's a better thing. So when you're out there, and I won't go further than that. So when you're out there, pretend it's the last time you'll see each other and enjoy that moment. So to wrap it up, free food, make a difference, and lots of hugs. Okay? Now, with the class of 2010, led by our student marshal, Colin Andrews Wood, please approach the stage. Receiving the Bachelor of Arts in Music, cum laude, Alejandro William Belden. Rebecca C. Buxton, magna cum laude, summa cum laude. James Andrew Russian, magna cum laude. Evan Andrew Vockley. Receiving the degree, Bachelor of Music Performance, Justin Michael Barclay. Joseph Tibor Kovacs III, cum laude. Aaron Louise Lawson, summa cum laude. Maria Siosi Mahe, magna cum laude. Gina Lee Nestor, summa cum laude. John Robert Rago, magna cum laude. Receiving the degree, Bachelor of Music, Jazz Studies, Jesse Nicholas McBee, magna cum laude. Bachelor of Music Education, Chelsea Ray Cogan, summa cum laude. It's all right. Chelsea Renee Cook, magna cum laude. Christopher Gardner Corbett, cum laude. Melinda Antoinette DiGiandomenico, cum laude. Amber Leona Irvin, magna cum laude. Hey, cool. Joseph Walter Jankura, summa cum laude. Did I get you out of order? That's it. Yeah. Rachel Marie Kaufman. Ryan Allen Mold, cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Montague Reynolds, summa cum laude. Joel Franklin Rhodes, magna cum laude. Lacey Christina Wallace, magna cum laude. Jason Andrew Wilcox, magna cum laude. Brandon Daniel Williams, magna cum laude. Yeah, man, dance away. Yeah, man. Leslie Elizabeth Matthews, magna cum laude. Receiving the degree Master of Music, Melissa Marie Alberk. And I'm going this. Emily Elizabeth Barlow. Sheila K. Barnhart. Sarah Jane Beatty. Colleen Loretta Hillier. Aqui Lee. Christina Rochelle Weimer. Imelda Yamin. And receiving the degree Doctor of Musical Arts, Edward Algernon Brown. Sean Michael Roberts. And the student marshal, the man who's lived in Rio and is now moving to New Orleans, Colin Andrews Wood.
I would now like to ask Dr. Michelle Wheatley, WVU's Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, to lead the conferral of these well-earned degrees. Provost Wheatley.
The moment the students have been long awaiting has now arrived. The moment the parents and families have been awaiting is about to occur. Will the class of 2010 please rise? Candidates from the College of Creative Arts, people in your field use their talents to express the deepest truths about the human experience. Your passion for expressing yourselves creatively and sharing your unique vision with others will help you transform lives through art, education, and scholarship. As you begin your careers in the arts, I hope that you will continue to express yourselves with creativity, compassion, and courage. By virtue of the authority vested in me by West Virginia University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have been recommended with all the rights, honor, and privileges appertaining thereto. As West Virginia University's newest graduates, you may move your tassels to the left side of your cap as a symbol of your achievement.
Thank you, Provost Wheatley. As a faculty member, it was Phil Feine's vision that brought the World Music Center to WVU. And as a dean, Phil Feine set a foundation for success, which our college continues to build upon. Please welcome back the only Dean Emeritus of this college, the Chief, Phil Feine.
You know, I think you can sit down. I'm not going to ask you for any money. On behalf of the thousands of graduates of the university who have preceded you, I extend to each member of the class of 2010 congratulations and best wishes. From this day forward, your names are forever linked to West Virginia University. The quality of a university is known by the reputation of its graduates. When employers see that your education has prepared you to excel in the workplace, this will enhance WVU's reputation and the value of your own degree. You will be this institution's best ambassadors. With that in mind, I offer this charge to you, the class of 2010. Work hard. You've heard that before from Susan. Take risks, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. I've made so many in my day, I wouldn't be able to count them all. Put your education to work improving your society. Develop a global perspective and apply your efforts to creating a more peaceful and a more just world. Honor the sacrifices of those who came before you and do all you can to help those who will follow. Above all, never stop learning. Read, explore, travel, and keep expanding your circle of friends. As you build new friendships, take care to nurture those you have made at WVU. Maintain your connection with West Virginia University. Show your mountaineer pride, not just on game days, but every day and every place life takes you. Return to campus when you can to visit favored teachers. They will appreciate that, and relive precious memories. As you leave today, consider the words of an esteemed former WVU faculty member, Maurice Brooks. He wrote, "Thus it is with those nurtured in Appalachia. They leave, but they look back, remembering pleasant things. The land has claimed them, and its ties will not be severed. At West Virginia University, you will always be, or always have, a home among the hills." God bless you, and good luck.
At this time, I would ask the class of 2010, parents, step-parents, family members, friends, and faculty, and honored guests, to please rise as we join together in singing the words of our alma mater, written in 1938 by WVU graduate student Lewis Corson.
Alma, our alma mater, the home of mountaineers, sing we of thy honor, everlasting through the years. Alma, our alma mater, we pledge in song to you. Hail, all hail our alma mater, West Virginia U.
Thank you. Please be seated for a moment. Before we end our commencement, I'd like to thank some people who actually make all of this run so very, very smoothly. Gretchen Hoover, thank you. Thank you, Gretchen, for all the fine work you do here. Members of our College of Creative Arts staff, Pete McCumber, Brian Smith, Mark Price, thank you. Our interpreters, Teresa McGonigal, Kimberly Thorne, thank you so much. Our organist, faculty member, Bill Haller. Bill, thank you, sir. Thank you. And again, Maria and Gina, our performers. I would ask you remain in your seats as the platform party leaves the stage. And as Keith shared with you, the reception is outside, so go and stuff those pockets. Thank you, and God bless you.